Gorla here at YESSSS Lubbock. Sorry, Lubbock reached, oh my goodness, post-ban list. We have here some Wonder players. Same list, right guys?
Yeah, we played the exact same list.
What places did y'all get?
So I got 5th place, and my older brother got 9th place.
Top 9, baby.
Hey, that's what's up. Y'all cooked the goo together, right?
That's right. Yep.
So, would you please introduce yourself to the world, man?
So my name is Aaron. Played Floowandereeze, got top 5 at the Lubbock Regional.
I'm Jacob Banuelos.
That's what's up. Any shots before we begin?
Absolutely. We got a shout out to TCG Battleground, which is my brother's store located in El Paso, Texas.
Yep. That's our locals. That's the store I own. It's where, you know, we hold tournaments, etc. You know, OTS store, whatever.
That's what's up. Well, without further ado, please show us the goo.
So we got the monsters. Typical lineup. You run 3 Robina, 3 Eglin. And then for the other little birds, we just went with 1 and 1. So 1 Stree, 1 Toucan. Then we decided to play 1 barrier statue. And the reason we played 1 barrier statue is that we played 2 Empin. So when you're playing Thunder, we kind of realized that you have to make a decision whether or not you want to play 2 Empin, 2 statue, 2 traps. You can't just go 1 on everything because you lose out on the power of the deck. But you got to sacrifice consistency, and we decided the best card that would not hurt our consistency was the Empin. Then for the other big birds, we played the Ryza and the Miss Valley.
Oh wow!
And then that's it for the engine monsters.
Did you ever consider like maybe cutting this one or? Just...
You know what? We were talking about it before coming to this event to play 3 Empin and no Avian, but we just didn't test it enough. So
I think the Avian's good because there are just too many times where your opponent you'll do the typical line with the statue, and then your opponent will normal summon. They'll try to go battle phase. You'll do the trap, and then you'll summon the Avian, and then you'll book the monster they normal summon to try it because they're trying to out the statue, and then you have the Avian on the field along with their set monster. So I would rather have a negate because you already have the Empin on the field. But I mean, it's like potato. I mean, a second Empin is like still really good too.
Yeah,
it's still something they have to deal with.
I think a lot of the times, like we would end up in like these very simplified game states where the opponent like just has a branded fusion in hand, right, as their last card, and you wouldn't want an Empin on board when you could have an Avian. Mm-hmm. So moving on to the hand traps, we played the best hand trap in the game.
Oh yeah.
D-Shifter. I see a lot of people shotgunning this like right off the bat. And I don't think that's the best play. It never is. Like, unless you're playing against Cybers, like MathMech, because they have a lot of send effects. And my brother disagrees with me on this. He never shotguns Shifter. No. But I always wait for them to do like a Sheeran effect or a Foolish Burial Good, something. Or like, I don't ever want my D-Shifters to get gammaed. Like, I'll wait for them to put something on board before I do it, just so that you don't get like gimmicked by something like that.
Makes sense.
Then we ended up playing 2 Ash and 2 DD Crow. The DD Crows were fantastic with Miss Valley Apex Avian because you would use the Robina to search the Crow, and then you use your Empin to search, Eglin to search the Avian. And so you would, what would happen in the past, I noticed a lot, was we would search the statue, and you would have this dead card in hand and you have an Avian on board, whereas now you have an Avian on board and a DD Crow. So it's just another little form of interruption. So that's it for the monsters. Moving on to the spells, played 3 map. This card was MVP today. Of course, 3 Advent. I dodged so many Imperms, so many Veilers today. It was insane.
And to be honest, that winning games you shouldn't because of time. The time rules, I mean, it's redundant at this point. Time rules are lame, but it's a thing that everybody takes advantage of at this point.
You just have to play into it.
Yeah. Lucky you guys have some main deck cards for that. Yeah.
Exactly. It makes it so much easier, you know. Whereas a lot of decks have to put in like red resonators. It's already built into the deck. For our consistency cards, we ended up playing 3 Prosperities, 3 Dualities, and 2 Extravagances.
Let's go.
Me and my brother went back and forth on whether or not we should be playing Extravagances at all, but we just ended up bricking so often with the birds that we just needed that little bit of extra consistency.
We agreed that it's better to see 2 pots than to see none. Like, I'd rather see a Prosperity and an Extravagance than to see literally none and brick.
And sometimes you'll go extravagant and they'll ash it.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, awesome, I can prosperity anyway. Yeah. 1 wins in the main. This card was very strong against tier limit and against just rogue decks in general. We struggled the most today against Sprite. Is that accurate to say? I mean, tier limit was basically the free matchup. I mean, we built this deck just to beat tier limit. We played 1 terraforming, 1 call by. My favorite card in the deck. We played 3 feather storms. Again, we disagreed on this one, but I never sided it out. If I was going first or second, always left it in. Maybe took out 1 or 2, but I always left at least 1 in because what I normally would do is I'd break a board and then I would have a wing beast, set the feather storm, and it just gives me another free turn. It's like time walk. And then, of course, we just played 1 trap.
What's the main account, guys?
41.
41. Yep. Next we'll move into the extra deck. So
Pot targets.
pot targets, yes, as well as you'll see in the side deck we played Ultimate Slayer. So for Ultimate Slayers we had to play the Shurag. This card was incredible mid game because if you already had some birds banished or for whatever reason, you would send this off of your Ultimate Slayer and you would use the effect to grab like a Robina, grab a DD Crow, grab whatever you wanted. It was fantastic. And then our other link target was the Farajit. It kind of conflicted with the pots sometimes, I noticed, but it was better than playing the Trouble Sunny and having that brick in the deck.
And another thing, a lot of times if you have the Ultimate Slayer mid-game, you don't have the pots anymore. So
Yeah.
I'd rather have the ability to draw, and you know, because you don't always just have the pots.
Yeah. Moving on with our other Ultimate Slayer targets, we played 1 Entis and 2 Garura. 2 just because this is a very like mid-range deck. It's supposed to play the long game, and opponents just somehow find a way to recover. I had a guy down to 1 card, and he drew for turn, activated Instant Fusion. So like, you gotta have the recursion and be able to play, you know, the long game. This guy never came up. I don't think anybody synchro summoned today once. Then 1 Anima, 1 Channeler for the Mystic Mine. If you know your opponent activates Mystic Mine, you can link your monsters away, set the Advent, and then banish this during their end phase. We were super scared of playing Crooked Cook today, so we played this card.
It's also for the Arrival, because you can run over the Arrival.
You can remember the level? Yeah.
When you go to regionals, you play against gimmicky stuff.
You just never know, right?
You just never know.
Again, for Crooked Cook, we played Underworld Goddess, and then we played the Zeus package.
Very nice.
And then lastly, for our side deck, this card was amazing. Just absolute blowout, evenly matched, and then 3 Artimate Slay. I think it was better for you today than it was for me, but the times that it did come up, it was pretty good.
The card is insane.
I love this card. It's just incredible. I'm considering maining this.
Yeah.
It's like, it's getting to that point where like the Runic Fountain and like just, we played a guy today that main decked
Zombie World.
Zombie World.
We both played him. I lost to him. He was my 1 loss, but I beat him.
Yeah, I ended up beating him in round 8.
The last round.
This card enraged a lot of people today. So we played 3 Nibiru in Flunder because, I mean, I'm not using my Flunder effects on their turn 1. So this card just demolishes tier limit, and they never go for immediate Appaloosa, right, to defend against this. So you just let them do the whole combo, do whatever they're going to do, and right when you suspect that they're about to go into Appaloosa is when you Nibiru them. And it was the same reaction all day long. It was just like, you play that in Flunder? You know, it was like, yeah, I play that. And then the last 3 cards, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. It goes very well with the Feather Storm in the main deck. And then 2 Drolls. Unfortunately, we didn't draw these all day, but this was kind of like a blowout card that we were trying to just stop our opponent, our turn, summon Robina, and go off.
Sweet. Well, congrats. You know, the invite and the top. Nice. Very cool creating the group together. And yeah, guys, until next time, everyone.
Peace.
Portal out.